Well, good evening, guys. It is Monday the 17th of September today. It's about 7 p.m. The sun's already setting behind me. It's down behind the trees. I've managed to sneak out for a couple of hours because my main motivation is it rained last night. Not a great deal, but it does seem to have put the river up a little bit. And also, it's very, very mild. We have a lovely warm day today, up to about 22, 23, 24 degrees. This evening, it's not supposed to get below about 16, 15, 16. Now, it's also supposed to be the same tomorrow night. However, we've got the back end of this hurricane coming. It's going to be very windy tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Excuse me, scratches, flies everywhere tonight. So I thought I'd come and make the most of the mild weather before the winds hit. What I've done is I've come down to this deep swim because of all the otter trouble I've had up there, plus the fact that I'm just not catching any barbel up there. I'm beginning to wonder how many are left, to be honest with you. Had a look and compared this year's sessions with last year. It's not very favourable at all. I mean, it's easy to blame the otter, but it's difficult to think of anything else to blame, to be honest. We have had that sewage leak, but that was weeks ago now. What I've done is I've come down to the really deep spot, about half a mile or so down the stretch, something like that. I've had a walk down here where I fished and caught the bream the other week. Didn't do very well that night. Had a bream right at last knockings, but it's a decent peg, and it's the first really deep spot down the stretch, literally off my rod top here, literally one rod length out. What I've done is I've got sort of ledger slop on my line, and what I've done, I've pushed that up and effectively sort of plumbed with that, just feeling in. I mean, it's that close in, and I'm looking at 9 feet of rod length out here, and bearing in mind the rest of this stretch struggles to get to 4 feet. So we'll see what happens. I've had some chub out of here in the winter. I know that some barbel have come out of here in matches in the day, but what we've got is, as the river goes further over, it gets shallower and shallower and shallower. So we've got shallow over the other side. There's some stream weed in there as well, and like I say, in here, there's a very, very deep hole in here. Starts about where my rod tips are and extends downstream. So I've got one bait at the top of that and one at the bottom. I've got my centre pin on one of the rods, and on the other one I've just got my fixed spool reel. I've got my barbel rods. I'm going to give it a couple of hours. I mean, it'll be dark by 8 o'clock, properly dark up by 8:30, I think. By 9:30, if we're going to get a bite, we'll have got one. Fish topping. The river does look a lot more lively than it has been as well, which is good news. And I say this one rod top's tapping away already. It's difficult fishing so close in to get a decent line lay. I mean, my line's literally sort of doing that into the water because I'm fishing so close in. So what I've done is put these fox, they don't call them flying back leads, but they are kind of flying back leads. I've got them up the line, and I'm just fishing tight to that, so my line's effectively sort of doing that, and then swim feeder, hook link. That's the idea. So fishing fairly slack, so we're not going to be have too much of a sensitive setup, but hopefully one of the rods will just scream off, so we won't have to worry about it. Well guys, well you can just about still see me. The left hand rod, the one that's in the deep hole, is clanging away, and a huge great clang on it. Too quick to strike at, to be honest. The other one was doing not a lot, the one that was further downstream. So what I've done is put that about halfway out in the river. I felt it down for a nice drop, and just counting the feeder down, I would say it's probably 5 foot deep, something like that, maybe 6 foot. And that's just had a clang on it as well. That's got a cheesy garlic halibut pellet on. So everything's looking really good, and we've had that big splosh just over there, which I'm pretty sure wasn't an otter. So yeah, things are looking promising. And again, I don't think that's an otter. Well guys, we got something on. Not quite sure what it is. Well guys, it's just getting dark, as you can see behind me, but just had a little one. I don't know, £1.50 or so, something like that. Wasn't sure if it was a bream or not, so excuse me not putting the light on, but I could tell we weren't going to get too much of a scrap off it. Careful. But that was from the open water on the cheesy garlic pellet, so let's get him back and try and catch his big brother. Oh gosh. Absolute clang, wasn't it? I think it's a chub. Well guys, once again the cheesy garlic halibut pellet does the biz. Look at that beaut. Absolute tank. That's fantastic. Beautiful fish. Fantastic scrap as well. Absolutely superb scrap. Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock. I think I'm going to call it a day at that. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy your own angling, tight lines, and I'll see you again back down here on Friday.